Hello Daily Drafters, and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft, our second to last Duskmourn draft on the channel, and we are still searching for our first trophy. This could be the first format in the history of the channel that I don't have at least one trophy in. Let's hope that doesn't end up being the case, and dive into today's Pack 1 Pick 1. I'm looking at the comments here, and I really don't see anything I want to take. I think this is a pick between Exercise and Hedge Shredder. I mean, I don't know how good Hedge Shredder is. I haven't really played much against or with it. It doesn't seem super busted. The only thing is, like, this pack isn't super great. There's a Beastie Beatdown, which I think is fine in red-green. Not that red-green's a super great deck. Exercise is good in white decks. This is tough between these two. I haven't played with or against Hedge Shredder even this late in the format, so I'm going to start with that and see where I can go from there. Now, this pack is a lot better. We've got Trapped in the Screen, Shrewd Storyteller, Withering Torment, and then to a lesser extent we have Winter here. But, you know, green-white is not a very good archetype in this format. And we also have Monstrous Emergence, I guess, to kind of like go and stay green here. But I mean, what if we took, like, Trapped in the Screen and wheeled this Storyteller? Having a crew vehicle, of which there are only 2 in this entire set, makes these survival creatures a little bit better. You can tap as many of them as you want to crew this thing, and you don't even have to attack. I think it's between Emergent and Trapped in the Screen here. I think I'm going to take the Trapped in the Screen over, like, the Withering Torment, in the hopes that I can wield the Shrewd Storyteller. That's kind of my plan at the moment. But we'll see if the next few picks kind of put us down a different direction here. Now there's some decent stuff. Meat Locker, Drowned Diner seems fine. Manifest Dread. Painter's Studio, Defaced Gallery is quite good. Shardmage's Rescue is fine. There's some decent stuff here. I think the best card here is Painter's Studio, Defaced Gallery. It doesn't necessarily synergize with what we've got going on so far. That's not to say we have to be green-white. In fact, I kind of prefer not to. I just saw an opportunity in the last pack and decided to try to go for it maybe a little bit here. So, I mean, blue-white would really like a card like Grand Entryway. We're not necessarily going blue. I think I'm just going to take the best card in this pack and just kind of feel it out, see where I need to go. And that's a pick for Jolly Balloon Man, and I think this card is quite good. 3 mana 1/4 haste, you can pay 1, tap it to create a copy of something, except it's a 1/1 that you sacrifice at the end of your turn. I mean, even that with something like Fear of Surveillance is good. Fear of Abduction, it's good with. Yeah, I guess I'll take that. The Egotist is also fine, but I mean, we've got some decent red and white cards already. Now there is an Altenac, which can kind of help us go back towards green with the Hedge Shredder here. This card is pretty good. Friendly Ghost is another great thing to be copying with Jolly Balloon Man. It enters, gives something +2/+4. So it's almost like 1 tap, make a 3/5 haste for the turn. That is quite good with the Balloon Man here. Yeah, I think that's good enough. And we've got a pretty darn good red-white start that I think it's worth taking here. Now there's a Say Its Name. I don't really care about this Goat or the Razorkin in red-white. And the other cards aren't even great in any green deck. So I guess I'll go back and hedge towards green with the Hedge Shredder here. Why do Central Elevator, Promising Stairs, and Smoky Lounge, Misty Salon have to be in the same pack? I have yet to assemble a decent blue-red deck that had Smoky Lounges and Misty Salons. I don't think today is that day. I guess I'll just take the Cheerleader here. No green in the pack whatsoever. This card is relatively aggressive, of which the Balloon Man deck probably would want to be. Another Smoky Lounge, Misty Salon. This is a deck I've wanted to draft. It's just has not presented itself to me, and I don't think it will today either. So let's take Ragged Playmate here. I think, I guess, Hardened Escort is another pretty good thing to copy with Jolly Balloon Man, because it's a 1/1 when it attacks. It can let anything else attack because it gives it +1/+0 and indestructible. I just don't... I'm not super high on either of these. I guess I'll take that because of the synergy. Let's see what can wheel here. Cult Healer, grab the prize. Guess I'll take the Cult Healer. Not thrilled with most of this. Let's see what wheeled here. Okay, the green-white card and the Fear of Immobility both wheeled. That's interesting. I think based on where we ended up, I'm just going to take the Fear of Immobility because I don't think we really need to go back towards this Head Shredder too much. And another just aggressive white creature. Yeah, and a third to last pick, Fear of Abduction. Seems as if red-white is wide open for us here. So I think that's just where we need to be today. And we open an unidentified hover ship, which is, I think, a card we've got to take over Dragonfire here. As good as Dragonfire is, and as many as I would like to end up with in this deck. Hover ship, 3-mana, 2/2 flying, crew 1. Exiles a creature, toughness 5 or less. And then when this leaves the battlefield, they get to manifest dread. But it is quite the good card here, and we've got, what now, 2 rares? Yeah, 2 rares here in this deck. So, we are red-white. I've been red-white a couple of times, and the card I've always missed, and a card that goes super well with the Jolly Balloon Man, is Arabella. The red-white gold card. Now, don't see it here. Hopefully we can get access to it at some point in this draft, but I do like a Razorkin Horde Collar. This card is pretty good. 5-mana, 4/4 haste whenever you attack. Doesn't even have to be with this. You make a 1/1. I would also like a Raucous Carnival. Don't plan on playing anything else here except maybe a Teddy if we are slightly lacking in the 2-drop slot by the end of this draft. But now we've got another Trapped in the Screen, good catch-all removal spell in the format. There's also a Ticket Booth Tunnel of Hate, of which I probably would play. But pretty easy Trapped in the Screen here. We are definitely going to need to make sure we end up with more 1- and 2-mana cards. Things like Clockwork Percussionists, Fear of Surveillance, Veteran Survivors, things like that. We only have 2 Cheerleaders right now. So that is what I am on the lookout for. I would love an Arabella in the 2-drop slot as well, like I had already mentioned. Hand That Feeds is not really the card I want there, so I guess I'll just take another Acrobatic Cheerleader. There's a Turn Inside Out and an Unsettling Twins, both of which I'd probably also play. But we'll go ahead and take another 2 in Acrobatic Cheerleader here. And if I'm presented with that pick again, I think I would take my first Inside Out over my 4th Cheerleader. I have to make sure that I have at least a couple of combat tricks so these things can be attacking early. This is kind of like a 3. This is kind of like a 2 in this deck as far as a land cycler here. I'm not thrilled with the amount of 3-drops I have already. But, I mean, we just keep kind of getting the cheerleaders. There's a Curse Recording. Don't even have any instants or sorceries yet, so this doesn't do anything in our deck. I don't think I need another 3-drop. So I guess I'll just take the cheerleader and hope that these can go the distance in every game that we play. Okay, now we've got Friendly Ghost and Vicious Clown. I think I'll take another Friendly Ghost. Again, works very well with Balloon Boy here. Vicious Clown, pretty whatever. There's a baseball bat for the green-white deck that could have been, but I don't think green has been particularly open. The Painter Studio, the Horde Collar, and the Jolly Balloon Man is better than whatever green we could have assembled at this point, I think. Though we could have had the baseball bat and the Shrewd Storyteller. That's an argument. Okay, now I think I'm going to take up my first combat trick here with Turn Inside Out over another 2-drop in a Hardened Escort. This is also not the 2-drop I really want. I want to make sure I can have attacks with this deck, and Turn Inside Out really helps with that. I don't really want to be playing any of this. I'll take the Living Phone. That also is quite good with Jolly Balloon Man. But I don't think it's good on its own. So we'd really need extra synergies to help this out. Okay, now this is a tough one. I love Fear of Immobility. It's a great card, but I think we need to make sure we have at least a few more cards on the cheap end here. So I'll take the Veteran Survivor. Okay, got the Raucous Carnival back. I think that's fine. All the red and the white cards are coming back. So, you know, if an Arabella gets opened or another Jolly Balloon Man gets opened or something like that, I feel like we're going to get access to it in pack 3. But for now, I think we're doing fine. Okay, Unsettling Twins, maybe. Friendly Teddy if we have to. And a last big baseball bat. All right. Well, we did it. I get to play a red-white deck that has Arabella in it. This is exactly what I was looking for. Waltz of Rage is a decent card in like a bigger red deck. We are not much of a bigger red deck, and we don't want to be board wiping. So it's not that great in our deck. Glassworks Shattered Yard would be fine. I would love for this to wheel. This would probably be the only card in this pack I would play if it did wheel, which I do not expect it to. So let's take the Arabella here. And I guess we can take the other red, white, gold uncommon in Midnight Mayhem as well. 3/1/1 Gremlins, and they get Menace, Lifelink, and Haste until end of turn. Not too bad. So we are quite low on removal, so I think we need to take this Dragonfire over a Horde Caller or a Fear of Immobility here. We've only got 2 trapped in the screens, so let's go ahead and take the Dragonfire. Ooh, Arabella number 2. Upsetting I have to take it over Percussionist and another Fear of Immobility, but yep, I said if they got open, they'd make their way to us, and they have done that so far. Pick 4 here. So we are doing just fine, I think. Probably not playing this random enormous 6-drop here. We'll see what else comes our way. I think this is a pretty easy Percussionist over a 4-mana 4/3. Shepherding Spirits is not that great. We'll take the Percussionist. I would love to get access to maybe one more Turn Inside Out or Jump Scare or something like that. The Twins is always kind of... I don't think I need the Teddy anymore. It's always kind of a... like a borderline card for me. Currently have 24 cards and 16 lands here, so any other card I take would just kick things out if I decided to do that. I'm looking at, you know, Hardened Escort, Cult Healer, things like that. These are probably on the chopping block. Anything to replace it. There's a Patched Plaything. I don't think this is that great, though. It is pretty good with Turn Inside Out. It's not good with the Balloon Man because it comes in and just dies. I guess I'll take it, but I don't anticipate playing it. Okay, another Turn Inside Out. I would like to play that. Pick 8 trapped in the screen. Well, I guess I have to take that, right? Yeah, I'll take some more removal. And I said the only thing I would play would have been the card that was over here that I can't remember the name of. But unfortunately, we did not wheel it. So there are some more cuts I have to make here. Fear of Immobility. I mean, yeah. Seems good. Do I need 3 of them? Probably not. Okay, so our deck was wide open. Let's see exactly what I need to do to kind of fill it out here. I'm getting close to already doing so, but I don't even think I need to make a cut. There's just a few more. I'm going to cut in the edits here. I think there's just a few more cards I would need to change out here. Probably playing 16 lands and a Bedhead Beastie seems fine. And then this is kind of like a 3... What's our creature count? 16? That's pretty good. Maybe cut one of the 5 drops and keep 2 of them in. That seems okay. I'm not thrilled about 4 cheerleaders here, but I want to make sure we have a ton of 1s and 2s. We're down to 15 creatures, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them cost 4 or more mana, which is quite a bit. But this is kind of like a creature. This kind of makes more creatures. Yeah. All right, nice little tight red-white deck here that we're going to try and see if we can break our trophyless streak with. I'll see you in game number 1. All right, we're on the play here, and Acrobatic Cheerleader is in the opening hand, as it likely will be in most of these games. As we do have 4 of them. Unfortunate draw with the Survivor there, but next turn maybe we could play like Defaced Gallery and Survivor. Depends on what they play. Alright, they have a 2/2 Death Touch. I guess now I've just played Cheerleader Survivor. See if they trade. I imagine they will. And they do. Okay, a cheerleader of their own to trade with us. Don't think I need to Trapped in the Screen. Let's see if we hit a land here and... Okay, not too bad. I mean, I guess we just turn our creature into a 2/2. Because we're going to lose this by our next turn here. By the end of our next turn. And we're not guaranteed to have any more than 4 mana. Because Raucous Carnival won't come in untapped here. Okay, now they've got 4 mana. They kill our Manifest card with a Shrewd Storyteller. Alright, well, I guess we just go ahead and do this. And then next turn we can Defaced Gallery Trapped in the Screen. Sure. This should probably do it, especially with the Survivor getting hexproof here. Okay, go to 4. Get that. It's now a 6/4 hexproof. And red-white did its thing here in game number 1. To say the least. So let's hope we can be on the play and have draws like that going forward. Well, if one of these was a Plains, this would be a very, very similar hand, but it's not, and we can't cast anything in our hand. So this is actually pretty similar, just 1 card down. So I think we keep it here, and this is a tough one between Cheerleader and Arabella. I think I'm gonna play Arabella. It's definitely a tough decision there. But now we've got all the removal in the world. So, and we've got some pressure on them here. So we can just remove, remove, remove 3 straight turns, assuming they also don't remove here. If they remove our creatures, then we don't have a lot of pressure to put on them. Okay, I guess the cheerleader goes down. And so does Arabella. Alright, we've got nothing now. They did. I believe they top-decked the Dragonfire as, They had 2 mana the last turn and didn't do anything with it. And they didn't get any sort of priority, so it must have been the top deck, I think. They really don't have anything going on. They must be horribly color screwed now. Yeah, they're just very mana screwed, unfortunately. That should probably do it here. See if they find any sort of answer. Alright, there's the white. Do they have a board wipe? Can't imagine they would. That does gain them a little bit of life, potentially. No, yeah, it's still lethal. Alright, so, a very mana-screwed opponent, but we take those. Well, we get to go first again, and that's pretty fine. We actually have turn 1 Survivor, turn 2 Cheerleader, turn 3 Cycle, hold up, turn Inside Out, if we need to draw an extra land here. So, that's not bad. Boo. Now we have an 0-2. Ha. Joke's on you. I hit you for 0. What you gonna do about it? Please don't be... Okay, so now I think they have the green-white uncommon that manifests dread at instant speed. So what I can do is play Bedhead Beastie, play Mountain, hold up, turn Inside Out, and use that to trade if they block the Survivor here. Because I can attack with the Survivor if that's what they, for some reason... Nope, okay. That's not what they had. So... I guess I should have realized that once they didn't get priority from the Beastie here. But, sure. This is a tough turn here. I'd like to get Arabella down. But there's not really a mana-efficient way to do that. I guess I can turn it... I could attack with Survivor, turn Inside Out to kill their 2-2. And then play Arabella. That seems okay. They might just not do it. Okay, sure. Then we play the land, play Arabella, and then next turn we have at least 4, potentially 5 mana. Ghostly Keybearer is a 3/3. So I think now we're just going to go ahead and Trapped in the Screen the Keybearer, play Defaced Gallery. And I hope this triggers correctly. Okay, good. It did. It triggered before it got the pump here, which is what I wanted to happen. All right, let's see what the follow-up is. They're at 8. We've got good pressure, but there are certainly answers that they could have. going to try to remove the Trapped in the Screen to get their 3/3 back. Okay, so they're going to unable to scream probably Arabella here. There it goes. Percussionist, let's go 1, 2, 3. See what we get off of this. Play the land. Play the Percussionist. We're able to attack here. Actually able to attack everywhere because we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They can't block Arabella here. They have to block probably this and take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go to 2. Next turn we have Friendly Ghost coming. So they've got to have a couple different answers here. Okay, that's a couple creatures. Can they also kill the cheerleader? I guess that's the deciding factor here. They might have like Monstrous Emergence, maybe. Cathartic Parting. Okay, so that leaves them dead on board. Sure, sure. And there we go. Another pretty clean game. So we do finally have to go second here, but with a keepable hand. Once again, Cheerleader on 2. Followed up by probably removal on 2 or 3. Probably going to have to kill the Gremlin. But we'll see. Playing against another red-white deck here. Living Phone. That's a pretty good Dragonfire target. I would like to be able to give this flying here. I think Dragonfire and Trapped in the Screen, both of these are going to be able to hit most of the cards in their deck. So, let's... I don't know which one to use is the issue. Mana Efficiency says Trapped in the Screen, but this is the better removal spell. So... yeah, in the interest of mana efficiency, I'm going to do this. This could be wrong. If we miss a land next turn, we're still able to kill the Gremlin or potentially a bigger threat if they pose one. Another Living Phone, sure. Getting rid of a hover ship. That tells me they don't have a second white, and they drew a second white off of the hover ship here. And they also have Veteran Survivor or Shard Mage's Rescue or whatever. Yeah, so I think they've got Shard Mage's whatever here. It could be that or Jump Scare. If it's Jump Scare, then this should work out just fine if they plan to block, because I can Dragonfire in response, and it is Jump Scare. And we have the perfect removal because it doesn't die. So that works out just fine. Okay, trapped in the screen is gonna have to be used on that. Like, pretty much now. Having to remove everything they're playing here. Missing land drops while we do it. We've used pretty much all of the removal spells in our deck. We might have one more trapped in the screen. I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, this is the deck of living phones. This is their fourth one. Okay. Now we play this. Attack here. See if they want to chump with the phone to potentially get a card back. See what they find. Hopefully nothing super great. Even an Arabella like isn't the worst thing here. Cheerleader, that's probably also fine. Okay, friendly ghost of their own. That's not too bad here. That actually blocks the majority of our stuff. If we draw a land, we can Fear of Immobility, tap it down, and have pretty good attacks here. So, land. If not, we don't really have anything. I guess they're debating putting us to 8, and they do decide to do that. We hit the land. So now we do this, tap that down, and I guess we can trade the Survivor for a 1/1 here. They're gonna do it, but at least this won't become some sort of big 4/4. They're at 6. We have a hasty 4/4 coming that they don't know about. There are ways we could die from 8 here. I don't think they're incredibly likely, but it's possible. Double turn inside out will do it. Friendly Ghost won't. They probably cannot attack here. Alright, that should be lethal based on that attack decision. Yeah, both of these work. So, we'll just do this one, I guess. Doesn't really matter. And there we go. Deck is humming along nicely. Okay, we're up first this time. Ooh, this hand is not the greatest. But what's to say we can't find one of our 4 cheerleaders off the top of my deck? Am I right? I think it's fine. We've got both colors of mana. We've got card draw. We've got larger creatures here. Like I said, it's not the greatest, but I don't think it's worth mulliganing. I mean, I guess I exposed this to enchantment removal, but I mean, what am I supposed to do about that? Not play it? Another red-white deck. What is this? Just all the red-white mirrors today? Grand Entryway, Elegant Rotunda. So we kind of have our next 2 turns like dictated for us with Friendly Ghost, Horde Caller. I just don't really want to play this on an empty board. I'm kind of going to gamble here and hope we don't hit some 5-drops off of this. Okay, so next turn we play land Friendly Ghost. fine. It's not the best play, but it is 2 cards drawn off of Painter Studio here. And then we hope we can kind of stabilize enough that they don't get too far out ahead of us here. Glimmerlight, sure. Attack for 2. We've got a good blocker next turn. Next turn we can do Friendly Ghost and turn inside out. We can do Horde Caller attack. I don't think I want to Trapped in the Screen just yet. I think I'm just going to Horde Caller and attack, make a 1/1. Hold back the 2/4, and hopefully they don't have combat tricks. That's the one thing that kind of blows out this board state currently. Next turn we got options. We can go Friendly Ghost, turn inside out, and Percussionist. Attack with a good amount of things. Give some pumps. Have like a lot of damage pushing. But there's a lot of things that could change between now and then. Okay, that I don't care about too much. Let's see if they still get priority here, which means they might have Jump Scare. Okay, double white. Veteran Survivor. And still priority to potentially move around Glimmerlight. Okay, not too bad. That means we can Trapped in the Screen the 4/6. Or just try to race. I mean, that might work too. Jolly Balloon Man, huh? What does that do? Wow, that could potentially do a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Can get a bunch of 1/1s, make it copying the Horde Caller. Let's do this. Let's do Percussionist. Let's copy this guy. Go to combat. Can actually attack with everything, I think. Gotta make sure I don't die on the backswing here. But we are making 2 1/1s. They are dead if they don't block. And if they block just like a random 2/1 and let everything else through, they're also dead. Alright, that will do it, right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Jolly Balloon Man for the win. Alright, we're starting on the play here. Looks good to me. Survivor on 1. And we'll go from there. Probably defaced Gallery on 2. Never mind. Guess we'll go Arabella on 2. And if we draw a mountain... Ooh, is this going to be a busted start here? Because we can go Percussionist and Defaced Gallery attack? That would be insane. Oh, man. I feel bad for our opponent. Just a little bit. Maybe not a ton, but just a little bit. My goodness. This is a start, to say the least. Let's see if they've got a removal spell. Trapped in the screen, maybe? Shrewd Storyteller. Okay. That's also quite good. We could just... No! I could say we can copy Arabella, but what we can do... Arabella's legendary. I'd forgotten about that. What we can do... It doesn't have Menace. Copy the Percussionist. Attack. And it'll die and we get to draw a card? Well, kind of draw a card. That's a nice little combo as well. Trapped in the screen. Gotta get rid of the Balloon Man, right? Yep. Okay, that is fine. Let's go ahead and tap this thing down, and in we go. That should be fine. What else you got? That's less fine, but sure. Is there a way we can push one more damage here? Arabella. It doesn't quite do it. Puts him to 1. I could go for it with Painter Studio, but I'm just going to go ahead and put him to 1 here, see what we can do next turn if Arabella does survive. Plus we have 4 lethal threats now, which is probably good enough. And more card draw on the way. So that'll do it. Wow. That was a powerful start. Alright, we get to go first in this game here and have a veteran survivor. We need to find a couple more 2s and or 3s, but we've got plenty in the deck here. We've got a removal spell if we need to continue to push damage, and a 4-drop. So I guess we're just attacking and seeing if Dragonfire needs to kill something or not. Down goes Survivor. Still nothing I can play, unfortunately, so we have not been helped by the top of our deck, to say the least. Alright, Zimone needs to not make it to the end step. Here comes Midnight Mayhem. Defiant Survivor. That should be fine. Now we've got Combat Trick plus Removal Spell next turn here. Okay, so they get a 2/2 flyer. And Fear of Isolation, probably returning the Windbreaker, I would think. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, that's kind of a nombo for us. We tapped it for them. Oops. Yeah, things got a lot more interesting here now. Well, guess we attack here, see if they want to, like, double or triple block. Sure. Now, do we get rid of the survivor, or do we play another creature here? The survivor is a problem, but we've got answers in the form of blockers, and I'm worried about a potential larger problem coming out of a blue-green deck, so I'm just going to go ahead and play a creature. This is the first game we've kind of stumbled a little bit. I don't know if playing this and tapping this down was a mistake, giving them a 2/2. It very well might have been. They've had nice little combos here with, you know, killed our creature, returned it, so on and so forth. This is kind of worrying that they're attacking like they are, so if it ends up being like a 7/6 trample, which it is, then I guess that's something Trapped in the Screen can deal with relatively fine. So let's attack here. Go ahead and get rid of the big boy. Now, a great top deck would be like Painter Studio Defaced Gallery. That would give pumps to our whole team here. But let's see what they've got on their side. Okay, down goes Cheerleader with Synergy. So they get a 2/2 and then another 2/2 here. Okay, so they 100% hit a creature. And there it is. Alright, that is one of the better ones they could have hit. And here come the lands. Alright, so we have seemed to have lost the opportunity to push the damage here, so I think this one might have gotten out of our reach. Yeah, that's an issue. Their manifests have been wildly great here. Usually manifests do not get flipped very often, and they have now flipped 3 of them, which has been particularly great for them. Now they get to get an Unable to Scream back, probably putting it on Percussionist, I would think. Not letting us draw. Wait, why didn't it... Oh no, they got Fear of Isolation. Yeah, we're just really drawing nothing at this point. They did a good job staving it off, but looks like the elusive 7-0 was not achievable this format. Hopefully we can get a 7-1. We'll try to get this next game here though. Yeah, this Fear of Isolation Windbreaker combo has been nuts. Let's have them manifest yet another great creature to flip up. Draw an extra card. Hit us for at least 4. Fear of Immobility. Well, I mean, it doesn't really quite do anything here. I guess to not die I have to do this. So I mean, I kind of need this Percussionist to draw something good here. Just throwing it in just to get an extra card? Or are they going to just take it? Okay, down goes the creature. Goodness. Is that the same one? Nope, that's a different one. They got a nice little blue-green deck here. They have 5 cards in deck, notably. But I think we're dead before that matters. Okay, go to 1. Oh, they're one turn away from decking themselves here. Because they get to draw a card. Or this is a may. Nope. Oh yeah, you may draw a card. Ooh. Darn, they were so close to decking themselves, but unfortunately for us, did not happen. Let's see if they mess up. Accidentally draw a card somehow. No. They did not, in fact, accidentally draw a card. Alright, let's go for a 7 and 1. We've got both colors of mana. We don't have anything till turn 4 or 5. A combat trick and a removal spell. I do not like keeping this. I just know what happens if I send this back. I get 3 mountains, no creatures, and all white cards. So I think I just keep it, and we play the red-white mirror, and hope they don't outrun us here. So I probably have to trap in the screen next turn unless I draw something better. Glimmerlight, equip probably the 1/1. Sure. Cheerleader. It's not better, but it's something. It trades at the very least. Never mind. I guess I would just like to get creatures to stay on the battlefield here. I have to take 3, but I can get another 2/2. And then this turn's tough. So I can do Trapped in the Screen on Most Valuable Slayer and Veteran Survivor. I can Friendly Ghost. I can Midnight Mayhem. And attack, and then next turn I could like flip up Arabella and have her drain for like 5 or something. If I Midnight Mayhem though, I attack with these, I go up to 18, I have to take at least like 6 damage on the backswing, minimum. That was a tough turn. That was a turn I could have been convinced by a better player to do something different. I just like the possibility of flipping up Arabella and draining for like 5 points of damage or something. The only issue is if they hold up mana and like present Scorching Dragonfire or something, I'm not gonna do that. Also, them playing a 3/3 makes that worse. If I draw a land, I can still do that though, and I did not. Because I was going to say, draw a land, Trapped in the Screen, and Veteran Survivor. Okay, I think I'm actually still going to do this, though. Because now, next turn, Arabella will flip and drain for 6. Gonna go to 12. I can play Cheerleader, flip up Arabella, and attack for 6 next turn. Well, drain for 6 before blocks? Okay, hopefully I don't die from nowhere. That wouldn't be good. Take 5, go to 8. They chose not to crack a Terramorphic Expanse at my end step for some reason, but okay. Splitskin Doll, draw a card. And Splitskin Doll, draw a card. Okay. So if I attack with Arabella, I play Cheerleader, attack with Arabella, drain for 6 here. I can attack with everything, actually. They just trade with one of the Splitskin dolls. Conversely, I play Horde Caller, and I attack with Horde Caller and maybe like a 2-1. They probably go to like 8 or even 6, but then I have to make a bunch of chumps on the backswing, which makes Arabella a lot worse. So let's actually just do this. Let's do this. And then put them pretty low. I go back up to 14 here, so that's why I feel okay doing this. I'm pretty sure they're double blocking Arabella. They have to go to 1. Oops, meant to get their creature, but it probably won't matter. I really hope they can't kill me from 14 here. Okay, that's fine. Still dead on board. Sure. Okay, so they could have a lot of things here. If they've got Scorching Dragonfire, I mean, if I play Horde Caller attack with everything, that's 6 attackers to their 4 blockers. I can't think of a card in the format that would blow that out. There might be. But I can't think of one. So I think I'm gonna go for it here. And it did work. All right. We got over the trophy hump and managed to find our first trophy in Duskmourn in our second to last draft. We went 7-1 with a pretty busted red-white deck today. Double Arabella, Midnight Mayhem, Jolly Balloon Man, bunch of 1s and 2s, couple combat tricks. Deck was really, really good. Narrowly avoided the 7-0, but I will take a 7-1 any day of the week based on how this format has been going. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I will see you next time on Friday for your final Duskmourn daily draft.